Kanye West made an appearance on a show by a man who is no longer, I think, allowed to appear on YouTube. Is that right?
I believe that is right. I'm actually going to talk a little bit about that kind of thing in my monologue.
In most places, in fact, is Alex Jones. So Kanye West, I think he did, what, 3 hours or something on Alex Jones.
Whatever it is, it was long, and I was taping a podcast and getting pings from you guys sending me these clips, and I went back and watched them as it had happened. Like, you guys were watching this stuff in real time. Yeah. I went back and watched them, and just, it was a real journey from start to finish.
Yeah, and we should start with some significant disclaimers here that Alex Jones, has lost multiple libel judgments.
Yeah.
Against him for defamation.
Yes.
In order to prove defamation in this country, you have to have engaged in the most kind of reckless type of behavior.
Super high bar.
Yeah, it's hard to lose a defamation case.
Yep.
as anybody
as a broadcaster.
As a broadcaster in this country, and he's lost many. So the point here is not that Alex Jones is some type of a credible figure here. The point as we play some of these is that even Alex Jones in some of these clips is like, whoa, this guy is going too far. And this is a national story, like in a bunch of different senses. One, it led to, bizarrely enough, did you see this? I forget which Republican, one of the major kind of Republican Twitter accounts had tweeted something like
House GOP.
Kanye, Elon, and Trump or something. Yep. They just deleted that.
And they hadn't deleted it prior. This was before
like, okay,
his descent into anti-Semitic madness. They had not deleted that tweet. And so now, finally, I thought it was an odd place to draw the line. If you're going to draw the line, now let's
show where Republicans drew the line. Yeah.
To
not
give
Republicans,
viewers...
but
Twitter, whoever operates the House GOP Twitter account. To give everyone a flavor, because it's hard actually to encapsulate in a segment here exactly how bananas and awful this conversation was, let's start with B1.
You're not Hitler. You're not a Nazi. You don't deserve to be called that and demonized.
Well, I see good things about Hitler also. I love everyone, and Jewish people are not going to tell me you can love, us, and you can love what we're doing to you with the contracts, and you can love what we're pushing with the pornography. But this guy that invented highways, invented the very microphone that I use as a musician, you can't say out loud that this person ever did anything good, and I'm done with that. I'm done with the classifications. Every human being has something of value that they brought to the table, especially Hitler.
Really scraping the bottom of the barrel in terms of anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. And I think, Ryan, we should just roll into B3, which is another SOT. So keep the ball rolling on these clips while we're at it.
I don't like the word evil next to Nazis. I think we need to look at...
Oh, my goodness. Just because you don't like one group doesn't mean the other. But look,
I love Jewish people, but I also love Nazis.
Oh, man. Well, I have to disagree with that.
All right, so we can put B2 up on the screen. I do have one reaction that I think might be, this might be one thing that is either controversial or maybe a take that others don't have. I'm actually glad that Kanye West is being confronted by Tim Pool, is being confronted by Alex Jones in public view, so that he's not saying this insane stuff to other powerful people in private, that he's not putting his money privately into insane places, and that we can see clearly the contrast. So when the media tries to shut down Alex Jones, for instance, and no legacy journalist wants to talk to Alex Jones, you end up with him never being confronted in person and forced, like he was in the Sandy Hook case. And it crumbled, right? His narrative crumbled when he was forced to confront the alternative argument. You can see with Kanye West here, I actually feel like through this segment, I got a lot of insight into where his ideology, this ideology of anti-Semitism that particularly that he's been espousing, I can sort of see the intellectual well that it sprung from, which is a poison well, and it's terrible, but it's good to force him to explain himself and go to the logical conclusions of these awful awful arguments, and to be confronted by Alex Jones and Tim Pool, I think has showed a helpful contrast to anybody who might be like, hey, everybody's shutting Kanye down. That must mean he's onto something. He's not.
Yeah, let's play the third one.
The Nazis, in my view, were thugs that shook people down, did a lot of really bad things.
But they did good things too. We're going to stop dissing the Nazis all the time.
Okay, we're going to get to that.
Like, is he serious?
He is, because he then said he then went into full Holocaust denial mode, denying the 6 million number, which is like, I mean, flagrant. And he seems to be, serious is an interesting word. He's clearly in the throes of a mental illness, and that's extremely sad. And it's playing out in public view. It's hurting him, it's hurting his family. And the bottom line is that one of the most popular artists, one of the most famous celebrities of this century is now espousing outright Nazism, essentially.
No, not even essentially.
Like,
it's like, yeah.
Yeah, no, outright Nazism, essentially for the whole, in front of the whole
build
world.
Highways?
The microphone, I mean,
the highway is not that great anyway. So like that's all you've got, and the microphone. I mean, microphones. I think we would have a microphone without the Nazis. Not that I'm going to engage like in the point by point.
Well, no, but you know what though? Someone who can go through the history and like has the time to do it and will do it is going to go through the history so that when people are curious as to, Kanye West is being mocked by all of the people that I distrust and all of the people I hate, well, they can see these point by point refutations and show the deeply anti-Semitic well that they spring from.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. I mean, I think it's ultimately a good thing, and I think, at a certain point it has to stop. At a certain point you've heard enough, right? At a certain point he's said all that he can say. We understand. But I think this was, a step towards showing exactly how gross this is.
And I hope people connect it to just how ludicrous it is. And rather than, my big fear would be that people would see this and say, well, I love Kanye. Mm-hmm. And so then they like go down a rabbit hole themselves and come out the end with shrouded in all these like anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. That to me is the biggest concern about the platforming of this. But I hope that it goes the other way.
Yeah. That
the sunlight kind of exposes it for the evil and the insanity that it is, and that people who would have been tempted otherwise are like, oh, okay, that actually seems crazy. Yeah. Like he's up on a ski mask. Like,
when you can spout off. So I saw somewhere that Nick Fuentes, somebody had looked at the increase in his Rumble views before Kanye started aligning with him and with Milo Yiannopoulos and after, and there was a big spike. I think some of that comes from like disproportionate media obsession, but not in this case. I think it's very clearly Kanye West. Like you blame Kanye West for that bump because, again, one of the most successful artists of this century suddenly starts hanging out with a guy named Nick Fuentes. People are going to go and check out what he's saying. And, just statistically, some people are going to say, especially on those videos where you just have one crazy person talking into a microphone for a really long time, when you just have one bigoted person talking into a microphone for a really long time and just spouting off all this nonsense about highways and microphones, and you don't have people being like, hey, wait a second, what book did you read that in? And then you sort of, everything can unravel. That is, genuinely a very, very serious offense on Kanye West's behalf, not just what Kanye West himself has said, but by boosting the profile of people like Fuentes.
I guess we'll get to find out what
the
repercussions are going to be.
Yes, we will.
Hey guys, ready or not, 2024 is fully upon us now, and Soccer and I have been brainstorming ways that we can really up our game for this critical election.
Yeah, we rely on our premium subs to expand our coverage, to add staff, to upgrade the studio. We just want to give you the best independent coverage of this election, which is possible. So if you can help us out, become a premium subscriber today, breakingpoints.com, or the link is down here in the description video. It really means the world to us, and if you like what we're all about, this is the best possible way to keep us 100% independent, working only for you.